Good evening. Welcome to the April 7th meeting of the Finance Committee. On tonight's agenda, we're going to review the town warrant. We're going to vote on the capital improvement budget and vote on some transfer requests. So we're going to go a little out of our printed order, and we're going to go with the capital improvement plan first. And our members have been We've been reviewing this as as budget presentations have been made, and we've asked questions of the department heads. Do any of the Finance Committee members have any questions on the CIP, the Capital Improvement Plan? So the manager recommendation is $2,574,916. Do I hear a motion to recommend that amount?
Motion to recommend. Second.
Thank you. So let's do the roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
That's okay. So Kevin said yes. Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So the CIP is approved. The next thing we're going to talk about, again, we're going a little out of order. We're going to do our transfers first, and then we'll take a look at the warrant. The first transfer is, the one we got first is from the library. And the first transfer is coming from the administration account. Amount requested $3,000 going to library associate's salary to make up for budget cuts. And the present balance in the account it's coming from is $26,546.76. Any questions? Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Let's do the roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
Okay, myself, yes. The second transfer is also coming from the administration account with a balance now of $23,546.76. Amount requested $2,812.50 going to buildings and grounds for programming and mechanical costs for the new boiler. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. And the third transfer coming from the administration account, now with a balance of $20,734.26. $16,000 is requested to go to the library materials, books, to supplement high cost of materials for e-books and new and expanded collections.
Madam Chair, can we just get some information on that? That's a larger amount. Can we just get some information from the library director on that one, please?
Absolutely. I see Ms. Collins is here. How do you do?
Hi, thank you. Because of COVID, we had significantly higher costs for ebooks. Ebooks are generally about $60 a piece, and we spent about almost $8,000 more on ebooks, which actually got very good use, so it was money well spent. In addition, those costs went up about 6%, so a lot of our money went towards ebooks. In addition, we've been spending a lot of time reading the collection and really revitalizing the collection. There's an entirely new collection for children called Box Books, which have built-in readers, which really replaces all the old cassettes and other types of media that go along with books for children. And we spotlighted a couple of collections, our gardening and landscaping. We've been improving that one, as well as sci-fi and young adults. We also created a new category for children, beginning chapter books, and so we've been really rebuilding that collection as well. So it was we thought that we could supplement the, the funds in that account.
Okay.
Thank you. Gene, while we have you, can you give us an update as to where the library is in terms of reopening and hours? And
Sure. Yeah, this was our first week of reopening by appointment. We had, it's 20-minute appointments for 4 sessions a day in 3 different areas of the library. So they can request to visit the library for the computer section, the browsing area, or the children's room. And we've had close to 30 appointments so far this week. So it's going pretty well. People are happy to be back in the library again. Mostly they want to come in and browse because they just really want to touch the books. So that's where we'll be doing that until assessing with the town manager and the Board of Health at the end of the month and see if we're going to extend that or what we're going to do from there. So just in case, so we're fully masked, and there's a lot of procedures put in place. When they get to the door, if they're browsing, we have these small carts. They've been sanitized, and there's 3 shelves to them. So anytime they touch a book, even if they want it, they put it on the top shelf. If they don't, no matter how long they've touched it, we don't want them putting it back. So they put it in the bottom shelf, and then we sanitize those and sanitize the carts again and put the books back and kind of stuff. So that's been working out really well. So thank you for asking.
thanks, Gene. I think everybody's looking forward to getting the building back open again, get back in there. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to approve this transfer?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And let's do the roll call. All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you, Jean. All set.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, our next transfers are from the police department, and I see Lieutenant Lemon is here to talk about them if we have any questions. The first 2 transfers, I believe, are relating to a personnel matter, we're not able to go into specifics, or the police are not able to go into specifics regarding this because of confidentiality issues. Let me read the first transfer. It's coming from the Sergeant Quinn account. That account has a balance of $20,068.94, and it's going to the patrolman Quinn. And the amount requested $4,678.28. And the reason for the transfer is reclassification of position.
Motion to approve that.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Mike?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. The second transfer is coming from the sergeant's line. That present balance is $113,754.38. Amount requested $4,248.75. Going to the health and wellness line, and that's reason for transfer: consultation and assessment fees.
Madam Chair, can we just get some information on that one from the lieutenant?
Sure. Lieutenant, nice to see you.
Good evening, everyone. So that's the one that's very difficult to speak of. It's regarding a personnel matter. It was a medical and psychological assessment for an employee, and that essentially was the bill for the cost of the consultation services.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish I could explain more, but that's really all I can publicly say.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed? Michael? Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, the third transfer, coming from the sergeant's line, which now has $109,505.63. Amount requested $2,645 going to building and ground repairs. Reason for transfer, repair of fire department connection, failed 5-year hydrostatic test. Okay, Lieutenant, do you have anything to tell us about this particular item?
I can tell you that every 5 years, we have to have the system independently tested, the integrity of the fire suppression system. And basically what they do is they determine if the suppression system, which is a closed system, can sustain a certain PSI of pressure without any of the valves or things failing. And we failed that 5-year test and had to have the repairs. And these were the costs of the repairs for the service that came to the police station to take care of that, to bring us back into compliance.
Okay. Members, any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Let's do the roll call. All in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Thanks, Lieutenant Lemon. You're all set. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to see everyone.
Nice to see you. Okay, so we are looking now at the town warrant for the town meeting on May 4th. And Article 1, we don't have to make any recommendation on. It's to hear the reports of the Finance Committee, other town officers and committees. Article 2 has been amended from what you see on the paper. In Article 2, to see if the town meeting will fix the salary and compensation of elected town officers. And these are the following amounts. Elected town officers for fiscal 2022, town moderator, $296. Selectman chairman, $1,740. Selectman, 4 of them, $6,097, and town clerk, $78,267. Do I hear a motion to recommend approval?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, let's do the roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. All right, and I do want to make a note. When we're doing the warrant articles, we would recommend approval or not recommend approval or defer to the petitioner or take no position and make a recommendation at town meeting. So those are our options. All right, Article 3, I think we've already recommended. Is that right, Mr. Kazanovich? We don't have to, do we have to take a vote on that?
Madam Chair, and members of the board, collectively, you have to take all the departments as one vote under Article 3. So yes, you do have to take a position on this article.
Okay, so Article 3 says, Article 3 to determine what sums of money town meeting will vote to raise and appropriate from available funds or otherwise provide for to defray charges and expenses of the town, including debt and interest, and to provide for reserve fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, or act on anything relative thereto. Do I hear a motion to recommend?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Okay, all in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself. Yes. Okay. Article 4 is to see if town meeting will vote to approve a capital improvement budget for fiscal year 2022. Okay, and we don't need to read the rest of it at this point. So, do I hear a motion to recommend Article 4?
Motion to recommend Article 4?
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, all in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Sorry, yes.
That's okay. And myself, yes. Okay, now Articles 5 through 6 are the articles that we see every year in the town warrant. And we can, I will identify them shortly, but we can take them as a group. Do I hear a motion that we take Articles 5 to, let's say 5 to 11 as a group?
Motion to accept Articles 5 through 11 as one group.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, so we haven't voted approval, so let me just read in general what the articles include. Article 5 is to authorize town treasurer to borrow money. Article 6 is to authorize the Board of Selectmen to submit applications for any state or federal funds and grant funds. Article 7, see if town meeting will authorize Board of Selectmen to sell at public auction or other any properties that the town would wish to sell. Article 8 is to see if town meeting will vote to authorize town treasurer to enter into compensatory balance agreements at the bank. And Article 9, see if town meeting will vote to establish or renew all the revolving funds for various town and school programs. Article 10, see if town meeting will vote to authorize the town manager to enter into contract or contracts with the Mass Department of Transportation for construction and maintenance of highways. And Article 11 is to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate from available funds a sum of money, if it becomes available, from the Mass Department of Transportation Chapter 90 bond issue to be used to repair and maintain town roads. Do I hear a motion to recommend those articles?
Motion to recommend the referenced articles 5
To 11.
Second.
Okay, all in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, Article 12. Mr. Kazanovich, is this going to be postponed?
So, Madam Chair, right now we don't have any funds earmarked for this warrant article, although we did put it on in the event we are getting may be getting some additional funding from the state. So I would suggest that maybe you put a hold on this. If in fact we do not receive money, we will postpone it until the fall town meeting.
Okay, do we have to vote for it to put a hold on it? Is this?
Sharon, what have they done? Pat?
I think that they would take no position at this time and make a recommendation at the town meeting.
Okay. Okay, so Article 12, to see if the town meeting will vote to appropriate $500,000 to the other post-employment benefits liability trust fund or act on anything relative thereto. Do I hear a motion to take no position and make a recommendation at town meeting?
Make the motion to take no recommendation at this time and to take it up at town meeting.
Second.
Second, all in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 13, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $150,000 from Medicaid receipts within the general fund revenues to the Auburn School Department operating budget for fiscal year 2022 to fund supplies and medical, therapeutic, and educational services for significantly disabled special needs students, as well as tuition and transportation to and from outside placements or within the district, or act on anything relative thereto. Do I hear a motion to recommend?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Thank you. And again, this is an article we do every year. Roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 14, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate a sum of money, which is interest earned by the Auburn High School Gymnasium Health and Recreational Trust Fund to offset school department costs at Auburn High School in support of community health and recreational activities. Do we, Mr. Casanova, do we have a number for that article, Mr. Casanova?
So, Madam Chair, as of mid-afternoon, we have not received an amount, although we did receive an amount a few days ago in the amount of $20,000. It seemed to be out of line. What we historically earned. It's typically anywhere from $7,000 to $9,000. So the treasurer's office, through our treasurer collector, was going to check with Bartholomew Investments to find out, to verify what that interest earned is. So, and Sharon, you didn't hear anything later on this afternoon?
No, I didn't hear anything back yet, Ed.
Okay. So, Madam Chair, I would suggest, like Article 12, you take no position at this time and take up the matter at the evening of the annual town meeting.
Okay, thank you. And that's consistent with our policy usually to not recommend approval for an article if there's no dollar amount in it. So do I hear a motion that we take no position and make a recommendation at town meeting for this Article 14?
I make a motion that we take no position at this time and bring it up again at the night of town meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Let's do a roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 15, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $5,000 from McKinney-Vento receipts within the general fund revenues to the Auburn School operating budget for fiscal year 2022. Do I hear a motion to recommend this article?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. In Article 16, another annual article, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $4,200 from foster care transportation receipts within the general fund revenues to the Auburn School Department operating budget. Do I hear a motion to recommend approval?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Okay, let's do a roll call. All in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. All right, so the next article is to Article 17, to see if the town meeting will vote to repurpose CIP funds by amending Article 4 of the May 7, 2019 town meeting, Swanson Road Building Rehab, as follows. Authorize the amount of $7,000 to be used for the purpose of removing the underground oil tank at Swanson Road Intermediate School or act on anything relative thereto. Do we have any questions regarding this article?
Madam Chair, could we just get some background information on that? I think anytime town meeting's already approved one number and then we're looking to recommend a change from that number, could we just get some background on that one?
Sure. Hi, Celia.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good.
That was money that was left over in Swanson Road, and we have an amount of, I believe, like $270-something thousand right now to remove the oil tank, and we just wanted to add to it just in case. As you know, removing oil tanks, a lot of times there could be potential issues with, the ground or contamination, and that might cost more. So we just wanted to ensure that we had enough funds in order to make that happen. So that was basically what we were doing. It was staying within Swanson Road. It just would be using it for the oil tank as opposed to what it was originally purposed for.
Thank you. Just as the chair, have we changed over the fuel source for Swanson Road? Are we no longer using oil, new oil tanks, or?
We're still using, well, Mr. Fahey is working on, he was trying to look into potentially to see if we could get more natural gas. Right now, the plan is to move ahead with oil. We do have some, we do use some natural gas, and well, we use propane, I'm sorry. We're using propane in some aspects, but the natural gas, we have to wait and see if we're able to get on the natural gas pipeline or whatever, however it works out. So right now, I guess the plan would be to go move ahead with oil, but our preferred method would be natural gas if we could do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Celia, what is the total cost for removing that tank?
We were thinking in the range of $286,000 that to remove it. Yeah, it's a hefty expense, and then to put something back in place to continue to heat the school with. So that's basically what those monies would be used for.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Do I hear a motion to recommend approval for Article 17?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, Article 18 starts the next, Article 18 and the next 6 after that are all referenced to the Goddard Park Library project, all connected to that. So Article 18 is to see if the town meeting will vote to repurpose CIP funds by amending Article 4 of the May 2017 town meeting, building rehab of Central Administration Building as follows. Authorize $15,000 to be used for the Goddard Park Library project, or act on anything relative thereto. So Celia, again, this is, was any money spent from that Article 4, that CIP?
No, basically the $15,000 was set aside to be have work done on the Central Administration Building, the Randall Building. We've been kind of holding on the Randall money, the CIP monies, because we were waiting to see what would transpire with the safety security complex that the town's been looking into, to see if the school department would be remaining at Randall. So that money was on hold, and it's been on hold for a couple of years while we wait on that. And so we felt like it would be a good time to transfer that money right now, where we're not using it to be used for the Goddard Library Park project, that would be a good use of the money and would help the town. So that was our basic premise for doing that.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just want to express our thanks to the school department for contributing towards that project. There is a immense benefit to all the residents in this community as a result of that project. That's something we're all excited about, and as you indicated, the next several articles are prepared in an effort to start the project and complete the project, in addition to the contribution from the Pappas Foundation of $505,000.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kazanovich, I just have a question. This money, this article was authorized in 2017. We haven't borrowed this money yet, have we, or how does that work?
Article 18 and Article 19, those funds have already been borrowed.
Okay.
These are surplus funds. So we're also concerned about potential arbitrage issues as well. Mm-hmm. So we're required to spend the money within as Trevor, I'm sure, is well aware of. We have certain requirements that we have to spend that money down over a period of time. Failure to do so could result in penalties and fines assessed to the town from the IRS. So certainly we don't want to jeopardize or risk paying any fines to the federal government.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're within that, yep. We're within that period, so we're in good shape. Okay, do I hear, any other questions on Article 18? Do I hear a motion to recommend approval for Article 18?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 19, see if the town meeting will vote to repurpose a portion of CIP funds by amending Article 4 of the May 1, 2018 town meeting, building rehab of Central Administration Building, as follows. Authorize the amount of $10,000 to be used for the Goddard Park Library project or act on anything relative thereto. Any,
Recommend.
Second.
all in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, Article 20, again, also also involving the Goddard Park Library project. To see if town meeting will vote to repurpose unexpended bond proceeds as shown herein for the purpose of constructing an addition onto the Auburn Public Library, erecting a bridge, and enhancements at Goddard Memorial Park as follows. So I do want to read the amounts. Library windows, $1,256.45. Library windows, $21,076.91. Library HVAC, $34,518. Library foyer, $9,826. Library furniture, $509.49. Library interior paint, $182.98. Do I hear any questions?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Okay, all in favor. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 21, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $155,394.17 from available funds as shown herein for the purpose of constructing an addition onto the Auburn Public Library, erecting a bridge, and enhancements at Goddard Memorial Park. Sale of real estate, $10,040.47. Mass 10 Pro Tanto Award, $6,314.40. Sale of Mary D. Stone and Julie Bancroft Schools, $100,000. ACE Solar Legal Reimbursement, $10,000. FEMA Snow 2018 storm, $16,127.30, and Norma Card Expendable Trust, $12,912. Any questions on this?
Through the chair, just to Mr. Kaznovich, is there anything notable in any of these accounts or dollar amounts that may be brought up during town meeting?
So, I mean, certainly these are all available funds. I know there may be some interest relative to the sale of Mary D. and JB. Those transactions were effectuated most recently, JB, back in January. That yielded $45,000. We got the sale of each property yielded $50,000 each. We received $10,000 in advance and $45,000 due at closing, at the time of closing. The others have been on the books for a period of time. I don't expect any questioning relative to those other accounts, but one never knows. But I can tell you those are available funds, and they are going towards a great project. And like I said, it'll be a benefit to not only the library, but to the entire Drury Square project. I think Julie would like to make a few comments.
Oh,
Madam
good.
Chair.
Yes, to the chair, if I can. Thank you, Ed. I also just want to make a note that Ed and I have gone to the Library Board of Trustees twice now to present this project to them. And at their meeting last month, they did vote to support the financial plan, including the expenditure of some of the interest off of the normal card expendable trust. So we're not touching the principal. This is using the interest. So this project really is in keeping with the library strategic plan, and it's also in keeping with the Board of Trustees' desire to use Norma Card money for both programming and for expansion of the library. So it was a perfect opportunity for us to do that. So I just wanted to add that and thank them for their support too. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Let's do all in favor. Roll call. Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, the next Article 22 is to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $147,236 from free cash for the purpose of constructing an addition onto the Auburn Public Library, erecting a bridge, and enhancements at Goddard Memorial Park, or act on anything relative thereto. Mr. Kazanovich, can I ask, what is our free cash balance? Approximately?
15 million and change.
Okay.
We had a net gain in accordance with our free cash financial policy. For the period ending June 30th of 2020, we had a net gain over the prior fiscal year in free cash of about $1.854 million. At the fall town meeting, we appropriated $780,000 primarily for OPEB and stabilization and a few other articles that were funded through free cash. And the policy allows for 50% use of the gain from the prior fiscal year. So we were able to appropriate about $927,000. So when you subtract out the articles that were voted at the fall town meeting, it left us $147,236. So we're going right up to the 50% as allowed under the policy, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, members?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Article 23, to see if the town meeting will vote to appropriate $80,000 from the town stabilization fund for the purpose of constructing an addition onto the Auburn Public Library, erecting a bridge, and enhancements at Goddard Memorial Park, and or act on anything relative thereto. And Mr. Kazanovich, what is the current balance for the stabilization account, approximately?
Well, I believe, and there may be some accrued interest that has been recorded that I don't have in front of me. But my recollection is we had about $3.2 million, not including this year's contribution, which is $250,000. So we're going to be in the vicinity probably of about $3.6 million after the interest gets posted through the end of the fiscal year.
Okay.
So this is a one-time use. Requires a 2/3 vote of town meeting to release from the stabilization account. We believe this is a good use of stabilization funds for the Drury Square project. That gets us to where we need to be to meet our match of $505,000.
Okay. Any questions, members, gentlemen?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, Article 24 is the last article regarding the Goddard Memorial Park, and it's to see if the town meeting will vote to appropriate $25,000 from overlay surplus for the purpose of constructing an addition onto the Auburn Public Library, erecting a bridge, and enhancements at Goddard Memorial Park, or act on anything relative thereto. Do I hear a motion to recommend approval?
Motion recommend.
Second.
All in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, so those are the articles for the Goddard Memorial Park. Those are all set. Thank you. Article 25 is to see if the town meeting will vote to appropriate $10,000 from general fund revenues for munis payroll training or act on anything relative thereto. Mr. Kazanovich, do you want to just tell us about that?
Sure. So back about a month ago, I was served notice that our assistant town accountant, payroll supervisor, is retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to create quite a void. She has over 30 years experience, not much depth in the payroll area. It's a key position.
Mm-hmm.
So we started training a well-qualified individual from within, with the understanding that we know we're going to need some outside munis training for certain functions that need to be performed during the course of the year. So this may be an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, we strive to create some depth in these areas because these are critical positions. And so there are times we rely on the school department to help us out. They rely on us. This is a key area of concern. So we've had ongoing discussions with the school department on how we can build in some redundancy and create some backup when needed. But certainly this position is going to be vacated by the individual who's retiring on July 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some training to do between now and then. We've already started. We're about 3 weeks in. But certainly there's going to be some in-depth training above and beyond what can be done over the course of the next 3 months. And it provides a backstop too, so this is much needed.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Madam
Kaz.
Chair,
Yes.
just a question for Ms. Kazanovich. Is Munis, is that the name of the software payroll company you utilize? And this money is for payment to that company for training, not salary, am I correct?
Right, so our accounting software package is Munis Tyler Technology. And so this would allow us to bring someone in, and during COVID it may have to be remote, I just don't know, but typically we would get a rep that would come down and provide a day's worth of training at a cost of $1,000, maybe $1,200 for the day. So this would provide, probably about 7 to 8 training sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Motion to recommend?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, the next article, 26, is to see if the town meeting will vote to accept the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8J, creating a commission on disability or act on anything relative thereto. Mr. Kazanovich?
I make a motion that we defer to the petitioner on that one?
Second.
Okay. We defer to the petitioner often when there is no significant financial impact for the from the article, about the article. All right, all in favor, Kevin,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Trevor,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, Article 27, to see if the town meeting will vote to sell a small triangular parcel of land consisting of 1,014 square feet to Travis Lucier for $116. This small parcel is a remnant from land sold to Penrose property as part of the Julie Bancroft development. Mr. Lucier's property butts this small parcel of land, and presently a fence owned by Mr. Lucier is located on this small area of town land. The value has been set by the town assessor. Any questions, or do I hear a motion to recommend?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Kevin,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Trevor,
Yes.
okay, and myself, yes. Article 28 is to see if the town meeting will vote to amend Section 1 authority and purpose of the Auburn zoning bylaw as follows. Again, this is, we don't usually vote recommendations on zoning articles unless they have a significant financial impact. Do I hear a motion to defer to the petitioner?
Make a motion to defer to the petitioner, excuse me. Get that out twice today.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, Kevin,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Trevor,
Yes.
okay, and myself, yes. Article 29, to see if the town meeting will vote to remove the following chapters in their entirety from the Auburn zoning bylaws. Do I hear a motion to be defer to petitioner?
Motion to defer.
Second.
All in favor, Kevin,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Trevor,
Yes.
and myself. Okay, yes. Article 30, to see if town meeting will vote to appropriate $6,675 from the perpetual care for new maintenance equipment for the cemetery division, including a split boom trimmer and attachments, spring trimmer, 2 hedge trimmers, 2-week rental of a skid steer and Harley rake attachment, and 2-week rental of a screening plant, or act on anything relative thereto. Do I hear a motion to recommend approval?
Madam Chair, can I just ask a quick question on that one?
Yes.
Sorry, it's not the amount, it's so much, that's not an account we often hear utilized for transfer. And Mr. Coyle just explained what that perpetual care account is.
Hey, Mr. Coyle, nice to see you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry, I missed part of that from Kevin. You looking for the balance of perpetual care?
I think,
Just what that, it's not an account that's often referenced in our meetings. Just if you could just, either an approximate on the amount or what that account, how that's established.
Sure, I think Eddie would be in a better position to give you the amount, I know, but it's set up for the long-term maintenance of the cemetery, any major costs, I would say expansions, even potentially future purchase of land, anything that would be needed for major expenses for the cemetery and for maintenance costs. Ed probably has an idea of the actual number in the account, or plus or minus.
So, yeah, I can get that for you. My recollection is there's a little over $1 million in the actual non-expendable perpetual care trust account. And there's probably about $300,000 to $400,000 in the expendable portion. We do vote out a sum of money as an offset as part of Article 3 every year, an estimate of about $5,000. These items do come up. They do not qualify under the definition of CIP because it has a value of under $10,000. So typically there are items or outside articles that are prepared to purchase equipment for those items that do not qualify under the CIP.
Okay,
Great, thank you. And I guess that this account is funded through fees collected for burials and use of the cemetery. Is that correct?
So I think as part of the internment, there is a fee that goes into the perpetual care, and then as that account earns interest, it's transferred over to the expendable portion.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kazanovich and Mr. Coyle.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to recommend approval?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. The last article on the warrant, Article 31, is to see if town meeting will vote to amend Chapter 14 of the Town of Auburn General Bylaws entitled Stormwater Management. And do I hear a motion to defer to the petitioner on this article?
Motion to defer to the petitioner.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Okay, so that's it for the warrant, and I think we've covered what's on our agenda. The meeting is May 4th at 6 o'clock. Do we need to, we don't need to meet beforehand, do we? Mr. Kazanovich or Sharon, I mean,
Madam Chair, you took no position at this time on two articles, so you're going to have to meet for a brief period of time. Either the night of town meeting, before town meeting takes place, or at another meeting prior to town meeting. I don't think that's necessary. I think you can take a position in quick time on these two warrant articles. I don't think it requires its own meeting.
I think you're right. So maybe we should plan the finance committee meeting at 5:45 p.m. on the night of the town meeting, and adjourning in time for the town meeting at 6 o'clock. How does everyone feel about that? Okay, hearing no dissension. All right. We'll make that decision. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Trevor?
Yes.
And myself, yes. All right, thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you, Julie, for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Coyle. Mr. Coyle.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night.